What is up, everyone? We're going to have a podversation about this Jussie Smollett situation and this trial that's going on. It is wrapping up pretty soon. I don't really even know why he allowed it to get to this point, because I believe they wanted him to pay fees to compensate the city for the man hours that were put in to investigate this situation that turned out to be, based on the evidence that they got, a lie. So to allow it to get to this point, I don't know if Jussie Smollett is, playing on the line of narcissism a bit and just making himself out to be a victim. And even if something is not true, you're going to defend it to the end. I mean, in my opinion, even like this, the election was stolen thing, like I'm over it. It's been over a year since the last election, and I'm just tired of hearing people say the election was stolen. I don't care for either of the people that was running. I wasn't here for either of them. But I mean, the truth of the matter is a lot of people don't vote. Okay. So when people do have the opportunity to vote more conveniently, then more people will vote. But a lot of people don't want to take time out of their day to go and stand in a line and vote. So that's why a lot of times more people win than others, because I mean, that's just the way it really is. There's not, anyway, I ain't even gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm just basically saying that Jussie Smollett reminds me of people who know something isn't true, but you will continue to go to the end with the lie instead of just saying, you know what, I'm moving on. Shoot. He should have just paid the fees and moved on instead of allowing it to get to this point, because I don't really know like what the end result of this is going to be. I don't believe that he's going to get any jail time. He'll probably get maybe some probation if he's found guilty and have to pay a lot of fees and all of that stuff. He should have just let it be that instead of allowing it to get to this point. But some people will believe their lies over what the truth really is, because they are the consummate victim. And that is a little bit of what a narcissist is. So this situation, it made me ask the question, why did Jussie say Trump supporters attacked him? All right, we're just gonna get into this story, and this comes from the Jasmine brand, and it talked about him taking the stand to share his side of the story. So as previously reported, Jussie Smollett's highly anticipated trial kicked off last Monday, November 29th. For context, the Empire actor is formally accused of staging a hate crime against himself back in early 2019 to allegedly prove a point to network executives, and he could face up to 3 years behind bars if convicted. Okay, so he could face time, but I don't believe he's actually going to get time. Anyway, meanwhile, Jussie Smollett denies the claims that he staged the incident and says that two Nigerian brothers named Olabinyo and Abimbola, oh my God, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say the Osundairo brothers, because I'm sorry if I butchered those names, attacked him in a homophobic and racist hate crime. So, okay, they knew each other. And it says that Jussie Smollett took the witness stand at his trial, and on top of continuing to deny any allegations of staging a fake hate crime, the 39-year-old actor also notably alleged that he and one of the aforementioned brothers, the Osundairo brother, were engaged in a sexual relationship ahead of the January 2019 incident. Smollett specifically claimed he and Osundairo had been intimate with each other at a gay Chicago bathhouse and did drugs together, which were allegedly acquired by Osundairo. Osundairo denies Jussie Smollett's claims. Later in the trial, Smollett went on to say that he didn't want to report the incident because of his distrust in police officers. He also suggested he was ashamed of the incident, saying, "I want to play a boxer. I want to play a superhero. I want to blow stuff up. The moment I got beat, I became a F word who got his A whooped. Jussie Smollett proceeded to state that after he eventually reported the alleged attack, journalist Don Lemon told him that the Chicago police didn't believe the actor's story. So he's throwing Don Lemon under the bus right now, okay? Staying on the subject of reporting the attack, Smollett also addressed why he kept the noose, which was allegedly wrapped around his neck by his attackers, on when talking with investigators. At the time, Jussie Smollett told authorities he kept the noose on because he just wanted them to see it. However, Smollett revealed he was instructed by his creative director, Frank Gaston, to put it back on to not mess with the evidence. All right. That is very strange. I don't believe that it happened. It's sad to say that because you would think, why would somebody really do something like that? But remember when it was reported that this happened, the main thing about the story, even though it was, a gay actor being attacked on the streets of Chicago, the main thing that was focused on was Trump supporters, people wearing MAGA hats. And they, he claimed that they were using homophobic slurs when they, were saying this is MAGA country and all that other stuff. So it's like to go from that to this, where it's too far from the redneck type that he was trying to describe, people that attacked him. It was two Nigerian men that he paid to stage this event. Why did he say that Trump supporters did this? Well, I mean, you remember the climate. The climate is still heated. It's still definitely like crazy out here in these streets politically. And you have that stigma on people who wore those red hats. So to say that, it would just get him more, I would say, support in Hollywood, because we know that Hollywood is seen as more liberal than conservative. Absolutely. So that's what I believe was his main goal in getting this to be seen as a, attack against someone who is out and being attacked by people who are just red-blooded Americans who support Trump and wear the red hat to bed, to church, to the bathroom, like wherever. And this is MAGA country. I believe that that is why he said that it was Trump supporters wearing MAGA hats that attacked him, because it was going to get him more support in Hollywood, because Hollywood is seen as more liberal. I'm not saying that there are not conservatives in Hollywood. There definitely are. You just don't hear a whole lot from them. And if you hear some things from them, they're usually not as active in Hollywood as they used to be. And that's just the fact of the matter. I believe liberal ideologies run that industry. I mean, look, like whatever his title is, that created Empire, he's a black gay man that is out, and that is something that he, all of these people, when this was reported, they were coming out in support of him on Twitter, on Instagram, just, really coming out in support of him. And after this situation happened, before the investigation found that this was not true, he did a performance and he called himself the gay Tupac.
I'm the gay Tupac.
Like, he was talking about how, whatever happened, and he fought back. When I heard that alone, for me, I was like, something ain't right about this. Something is not right about this situation. But lo and behold, the investigation didn't dig up any MAGA country red hat wearing attackers. And then these guys, they admitted that, yeah, we did this. It was staged. He paid us to do it. They have them on video buying the paraphernalia. And to say that he kept the noose around his neck because he was told not to tamper with the evidence, I'm sorry. When someone gets away and escapes from an attacker, you don't do that. You just tell your story. You may still have the rope with you, possibly the noose, but to keep it around your neck, I'm sorry. I didn't believe that. I didn't believe that when that video came out of him performing and calling himself the gay Tupac. It was just really like, it was a lot of performance for me that just made me second guess it. And I'm not believing that he is going to get any jail time. I just believe they really want to make an example out of him, and they'll probably get him for a lot of money to reimburse and compensate the Chicago Police Department for the man hours that they put in this investigation, because they did spend a lot of time, with this. And simply, I'll be honest, because of who he is, not so much that it was considered to be a hate crime, but because it was who he is. Because if he wasn't who he was and the situation actually did happen the way that he described it, I don't know if they would have put as much time into that situation as they do to others, because there are people getting murdered in Chicago every single day, unfortunately. So to put that much time into that, it took away from time that they could have been investigating other legitimate crimes that were going on. So I do believe that they're really trying to make an example out of him, more so financially than to put him in prison. I don't think that they're going to do that, especially when when it says he could face up to 3 years in prison. That alone lets me know that he's probably not going to spend any time. He may get probation, and that is another way that they'll get money from him, because when you're on probation, you have to pay fees as well to be on probation. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk about that. I really would love to know what you all think about this. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like, do you believe that he made sure he had to say it was a crime against him by Trump supporters because he was trying to get to a place in Hollywood, and because Hollywood is more liberal, this was really going to get him even more sympathy and opportunities based on that sympathy?
Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.